address what I asked Coco when I said, how would knowing advanced like math, physics, all those things, like how does it correlate to salvation?
Yeah, so like it doesn't really correlate to salvation. But at the same time, like yeah, so like I'll give you, it doesn't really correlate to salvation. But at the
So
same time,
when I say that the
okay,
Bible, sorry to interrupt you because it's
you're
not a
good.
debate, but like when I say that it's not a scientific book, it's a spiritual book, and most of the story, like everything, a majority of the book is all about your spiritual, your morals and your spirituality and your personal relationship with God. And you want it to like explain in grave detail, like how the universe came to be. Like I don't feel like that's realistic, Coco.
And also,
Well,
if I can add, if I can, sorry, if
okay,
I can add to that, when you look at, you do like a serious, honest text analysis of what Genesis is, like what is the purpose. It is not about creation because creation here is, or science. It's chapter 1, chapter 2. That's it. That if the purpose was really to explain to humans how things came to be, it would be a lot more than just 2 chapters. You
A
can already
lot
tell it's
more.
rushed. It's a
Right.
rushed description of how life came to be. So obviously, this is not the purpose. Now the question is, what is the purpose of Genesis, or at least what is the purpose of chapter 1, chapter 2?
but yeah, so like so like I'll grant that like Genesis doesn't have anything to like do with salvation. But at the same time, you're gonna describe this God as like you're gonna describe this scripture as like it's God breathed, like God told people what to write, or God is like enlightening these people to write stuff, and then like it's getting things wrong. So it's like, is God like intentionally being like obtuse, or like I don't really understand. Like when I look at the Bible, I don't see like, oh, morality that's beyond its time, or like God doing things that are crazy, like, oh my gosh, the best, deepest philosophical things that we've ever seen. What I see is reflective of the time period. I see individuals writing about stoning people for stuff. I see individuals like messing up astrology. Like I expect to see like accuracy, it matches up with science, it's getting things right, divine teachings, things that would blow my mind. Like I should read the Bible and be able to solve mathematical equations and like solve scientific like issues, and like not like the other way around where like the Bible's contradicting what our best scientists with like tools and data and like years of college are like coming up with. It doesn't really make sense. Like it's inspired by God, but it's like, what is it doing? Like
Can I,
also like like God is not the God of confusion, right? Like why is he intentionally confusing us? And also I have another question too. Like
all right.
whenever that passage says that God is the light, like what's the exegesis for that? I don't think it's literally saying God is light. It might be saying like God is light in a metaphorical sense to God is the giver of life. But like, well, can we dive deeper into that?
Well, you gave a
Yeah,
lot.
I mean, exit. Good.
So he gave a lot. So let Christian respond. So, yeah, I'm just gonna say first of all, I'm gonna say on the side of things where we're dealing with just science again. Well, if I'm being as genuous as I can be, where I'm gonna look to see a contradiction in science and the Bible is beyond the Planck scale, right? This is why we can't see, 2 times 0 of the expansion, right? Because we cannot see beyond the Planck scale. So everything that science currently says is at least at the size of the Planck scale and nothing beyond it. So anything that Genesis is talking about would be beyond the Planck scale. So if I was just to be generous to you and say, well, there's a contradiction with science in the Bible in Genesis 1, that's where that contradiction would be. And science doesn't make claims, empirical claims about beyond the Planck scale because of Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, which is not an epistemic issue. Science just has to overcome ontological issue that says that we do not expect to be able to get beyond the Planck scale ontologically. So no matter what science does, we do not expect to be able to do this. That's the Heisenberg uncertainty principle stating that. So science and Bible, as far as we understand it, will never be able to get to the point of being a contradiction because of the playing scale. Secondly, I do think there's an argument to be made about God being progressive throughout the Old Testament and the New Testament, even beyond. Whether or not I'm probably not the person to give you that argument, because I think it's going to have to be someone you actually like, a Christian that you actually like, that would make you be more, because this is more of an emotional conception than it is like an argument that I think you would be actually open to. So, because you even make an argument, you kind of just made a non-inferential. This is what you feel, this is what you think. So those aren't really arguments I have to refute, and I don't think I'm the person to make you more have more affinity towards Christianity. So I'll leave that to someone else to give you that argument.
I mean, like, I don't know. My response to that is like, I mean, not to get back into what we were talking about before, but like, I'm literally okay with like mending beefs, right? And like having a conversation. I just ask, like, if I am nice to you, don't treat me like the spawn of Satan. So yeah, we can mend beefs and like be like cool again. Just, I mean, don't be mean to nice people. And then like whenever it comes to, whenever it comes to what you said about like the playing scale, I mean, you have to like make assumptions about that, right? You have to assume like God is creating the sun before this, like, and I get what you're saying. Yeah, like when we study space, we can only study as far as like T0, and then it starts to break down into like scientific and mathematical like unknowns or confusion. So actually, like, even like credit to you, that was actually a very good point, right? Playing scale, good. But like you have to make the assumption that God's creating things before this scientific unknown, or like we have to make assumptions that God is creating things before this scientific unknown, and like our science is kind of like failing to grasp the entirety of like what God is like creating. Like, well, why should we even like grant that? Well, why should we believe that God is like, we don't have dates or periods in which God created these things. We have to assume he created it before our understanding. But like, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say is just that the revelation that is given in the Bible about God's nature is specifically that the Bible is meant to reveal God to us, not to explain scientific, inquiry and scientific explanations for the world or math. The book is to reveal our Creator to us. Oh, I got a phone call.
I mean, I guess that's based. So you're basically saying like Genesis is trying to reveal like God to humans, but not truths about the universe. I mean, like, if that was the case, then it could have just said like God created everything and then called it a day. Why does it then go into detail that God created this at this time, God created this at this time? It seems as if Genesis is trying to tell truths about like when things were created, specific orders, and not just telling us that like God exists and he created everything. They could have done that without listing like a timeline type order of like when things were created.
So
Yeah, so we're still on
so
Genesis.
I know you're basing everything on your beliefs off of science, but science isn't the whole facts isn't the whole truth. And if you look at the definition, facts are true for two different things. So if you base your whole world off facts, then you're not being all the way true.
Well, hold on, wait, but that doesn't really like address my claim, right? Like, He Has Risen is making like the claim that like the Bible is only supposed to introduce like God to us. If that's the case,
It's a deeper
if that's the case, then the Bible could have said God created everything. Period. Genesis chapter 1 conclusion. Next chapter.
I think that's a good question, but I don't think chapter 1, chapter 2.
And I don't think that I was finished interlocking. But I think that the purpose of explaining creation in a way that no other text explains it is to assert that God is the source. Not only the source, but he's a personal source. And that he created man in his image. These are things that we only find in this kind of text. So the point is, there are some scientific things such as the earth being a circle, such as the earth being suspended on nothing, when all other religions at the time thought that the earth was on the back of a turtle or being held up by a man. And this is the book of Job. This is the oldest book that we have that we're seeing these scientific wonders like the water cycle being described. These are things that these people would not have known about underground springs. There's a lot of things, the heavens being stretched out. And now we know that according to like just looking at how the galaxy is formed, it is literally stretched out. It's thin. And if we look at space time, it's stretched out. It's like elastic almost. It's not going in when we think of all directions, like the universe expanding in all directions. It's really like a spiral disc. When we look at galaxies, that's how the universe is. And the Bible, it does describe these things, but the purpose was not to say, hey, look, let me reveal to you all the things and all the building blocks and all the electrons and gluons and all these things. The point was, look, I created this and I'm giving you all prophecy, because we didn't talk about how prophecy was revealed. The things happening in the Bible that God gave to the prophets and the things that did happen. That's what people needed to see. Like, wow, there is something beyond what we can see with our eyes. There's an immaterial world. There's prophecy. Prophecy in itself is miraculous. That's bigger than any scientific miracle that you can give me. And then if you want to continue, if we go into true scientific discovery, it all started with Christians. Okay, Big Bang Theory, Christian. Sir Isaac Newton, gravity, Christian. And we keep going, we'll find that the unveiling of who God is, even Charles Darwin started off in his Christian journey trying to understand creation. So all of these things are given to these individuals by God over time. It's called divine revelation, progressive revelation over time. And that's all I have to say.
I mean, like, my response to that would be, like, you'd have to give me, like, specific passages for, like the rain cycle or or whatever
water cycle.
Ecclesiastes
1:7. All the rivers. I'm giving it to you right now. I'm giving it to you. You asked for it. I'm giving it to you. You didn't know I had it, did you?
This is what I'm talking about.
So,
this is what I'm talking about.
Biblical source for the water
Mods,
cycle.
where are you at? I'm literally in the middle of a
1:7.
sentence. He's interrupting
all
me.
the rivers run
Where's
into
the
the
mods
sea.
at?
Yet it is not
Wait,
full.
hold on,
Into the
then.
place where whence the rivers come.
Bro, you can't be
thither
for real.
they return again.
You can't be for real.
So they
can't be for real.
this is an understanding of the water cycle.
Yo, host and mods, do you see what's happening right now? Do you see what's happening right
I'm
now?
giving you what you're asking
Risen.
for.
Shut up. I'm in the middle of speaking. This is where I have an issue with you.
Wait. What happened?
I was talking and he
He
jumped
asked me
in
for
and
the
nobody
verses.
stopped
I
him.
started giving
Where
you
you guys
verses.
at?
and then he started
Where you guys
starting
at?
out.
He interrupted me mid-sentence.
Did you ask him a question? Because I kind of lost attention.
No, I didn't ask any question. I was in the middle of talking and he just jumped in because he's stubborn and he wanted to answer like one of the points that
So you didn't ask me for
Okay.
we literally were like
Oh my God.
listening to each other.
You asked
Where's the moderation?
What you have to
What's
add?
happening? Do you guys see this in broad daylight?
And yet,
I'll put you guys on.
To be
I'll put
fair,
you
you
guys
did
on
ask for the
Showtime.
verse.
I know I
You
didn't
did ask for the verse.
I said like I'm just gonna need those verses, and then I proceeded to another point, and then he
Okay,
jumped
so
in.
you asked him a
That's the
question.
issue. Why you
To be
proceeded
fair,
to-
Well, that's not an
proceeded to
invitation.
another
I
point?
said I'm gonna need those verses, and then I was talking about another point, and he just jumped in, and I
Yeah,
said
that's the
stop,
issue,
stop,
bro.
and he kept on going because he wanted to answer the rain cycle
So,
thing.
Dave,
That's
if you
so
ask, if you're going
crazy.
to another point,
It's
it
literally
shows you don't
we
care
literally
what you
had
just
like
asked for.
30 minutes of like peace and like okay, look. We literally had like 30 minutes of like we were all peaceful, we were all loving, we were all like respecting one another. I agreed to that. And then I'm talking and I just said I'm going to need the verses to show like these certain scientific things, and I proceeded to another point. Then he has risen, jumped in, and then I gave him warnings. I was like, stop, I'm talking, stop, I'm not finished, stop, stop. And he just kept going. So like, this is why I have an issue with like some of these Christians, right? Like, I agree to be nice and cordial with you guys, and you guys are like, you don't give a fuck, right? You don't give a fuck. You disrespect like non-believers. And as I'm saying that you guys are disrespecting me, he has risen, has put in a violin in the comments, and is like, oh, he's crying. Okay, cool. Let me treat you guys how the fuck you treat me. Let me get heated. You want me to like start in this live insulting you and interrupting you? We can do that. I will happily go to war with you. I don't give a fuck, right? Like, you want to do that? Fine. I want to have a genuine conversation and all of us treat each other with respect. I respect you, you respect me. But if you want to fuck around and find out, we can fuck around and find out. I'm happy to fuck around and find out. I've gone toe to toe with tons of Christians on this app. I don't give a fuck, right? So like, why is that? Why is that happening? Now, and like, to get back to the conversation, you know, if we can respectfully, like, I will just need some Bible verses substantiating the water cycle and substantiating these other scientific claims that you're making. But yeah, like, the Bible, okay, yeah, I'm gonna need Bible verses to substantiate those scientific claims that you're making. And then, like, you're saying, like, the Bible is only meant to give revelation that God exists. Even if I grant you that the Bible is getting other things right, like the water cycle and revealing these things before their time, it's still getting stuff messed up in Genesis, which is what we were talking about. And the only way Genesis makes sense is for you guys to like add your exegesis and say that God is making the sun and like the earth before the Planck, whatever that Justin W said, which I was kind enough to say, Justin W, that's a good point. That's like thank you for bringing up the Planck thing. That's smart. You're reading the science, and I appreciate that. A lot of Christians don't read about like evolution or science and actually try to look at that like a lot of which atheists do this too. Christians like to critique science without studying science. They don't look into the theory of evolution or look into the Planck whatever or look into T0, and they critique it and they don't know what they're talking about. Good on you for studying the science and critiquing the actual position. Atheists do the same thing. They critique Christianity and they don't know what the fuck Christianity is. And even I have to correct them. Like, some Reddit atheists will say God sacrificed himself to himself. Well, that's not the Trinity. That's not the Trinity. The Trinity is like three persons, one desire. So you're not critiquing their view. I grant that. But yeah, like, when it comes to Genesis, you have to make the assumption that God is creating things before T0. And like, why should we make that assumption? Genesis doesn't specify these things. So that's like where my confusion is at. I'm not even sure if I want the verses anymore from like someone who's as disrespectful as like he is risen. But I guess I'll take the verses. I think I'm more inclined to mend the bridge with Justin W, because at least he can give me grace and treat me like a human in this conversation. We could probably even become friends in this live, but not with he is risen, not with that blatant disrespect and disregard for me. The only person he respects is God. That's
Oh my gosh. Okay, Coco.
But like,
All
you know,
right.
yeah, like actually, Justin W can present me the verses. I don't even want to talk to he is risen. And also, where were the mods? Where were you at, host? You like, like blatantly, like this is not a one-sided thing. He's literally like
I'm
disrespecting me,
sorry.
and
I was
nobody did
I was
anything.
away from my phone, and then when I came back, it was chaos. I apologize, y'all.
Yeah, like no host stopped him. Nobody like, you know, did anything. And it's like, I'm the only one causing trouble. Like, Christians tend to label me the bad guy on this app, but nobody catches it when the Christians are like wronging me. And they've been doing it for a while, to the point where like I have mental health, like, you know, like issues to some extent. But I mean, I don't know, do your thing. But that's all I gotta say. Okay.
I don't know. Like, my screen is frozen. I was trying to put Aaliyah. Is that how you say your name, Aaliyah? Hi. He is risen. Did you want to say anything or show like the scriptures?
Yeah, and you know, I'm tired of it being the Coco show, everybody. Like, this is a grown man, and we're treating him like an orphan. And I think that it is time for us to end that. Okay, this is childish. He asked for the verses. I said, okay, here, I got the verses right here. And in an effort to just, I don't know, have some kind of, where are the mods? Where are y'all doing? Oh no. Instead of just listening to the verses that he asked for. Like, it's not that deep. You said I'm gonna need the verses. Okay, let me give you the verses. Wait, I'm not done talking. Okay, well, can you do one thing at a time? Like, you want me to, like, you want to move to another whole point and then go get, like, why do we have to do everything in the order that Coco wants it done? You understand? And like, why is he allowed to come up here and just start crying and crashing out? Like, this is crazy. Anyway.
To be fair, not saying that you're crying or crashing out, Coco, but I let everyone cry and crash out.
Okay. So just moving on, because we're grown adults here. So there's plenty of verses here. So we have Ecclesiastes 1:7. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. And to the place where whence the rivers come, thither they return again. This explains the water cycle. They didn't know about water vapor, and they didn't know about the water cycle, but here we see it being exhibited. We see the shape of the earth. In Isaiah 40:22, it is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers. He stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. So in this understanding, they understand that the earth is circular. I don't think they thought it was flat. It doesn't say like a 2D dimensional flatness, but they did understand that it was spherical. Nobody else was thinking this at the time. We also have the springs of the sea. And this is Job 38:16. Hast thou entered into the springs of the sea, or hast thou walked into the search of the depth? We didn't know that there were springs under the sea until recently, where we're able to find there's water beneath the water, and it's like some super saline solutions. There's actual hot water springs as well that they couldn't have known it. That was pure divine revelation. We have the earth's suspension in space, Job 26:7. He stretches out the north over the empty place and hangeth the earth upon nothing. Nobody else in this time period thought this. So this again is divine revelation. And when you talk about hygiene, we have this in Leviticus, that not only are you supposed to quarantine the sick, but you're supposed to wash your hands. Like this, matter of fact, Jesus got in trouble because he didn't wash his hands. And what did he say? He said, it's not what goes in your mouth that defiles you, it's what comes out of your mouth that defiles you. So they had a tradition of hand washing. Okay, so you can't say, why didn't they just say, to wash your hands? It would have cleared it. Like, no, they already knew this. All right, but leprosy is deeper than hand washing. Okay, that was just kind of crazy. So the value of quarantine, which is crazy because we didn't really come into quarantine. If you think about Europe and Ebola and all of that, they didn't know what quarantine was. But if we went to the Bible, we would have seen in Leviticus 13:48, all the days wherein the plague shall be upon him that shall be defiled, he is unclean. He shall dwell alone without the camp, shall his habitation be. This is talking about quarantine before the concept of quarantine was even a thing. Okay. So, and then we have atmospheric circulation. We have the, like I talked about, the vents. We have the influence of the moon on the tides. We have the Earth's rotation. We have proper waste disposal, because again, if you go into the European cities, they didn't have proper waste disposal. And if you're saying that the Europeans were so advanced, how come they didn't know that they shouldn't take their feces and go put it in the river? That you should dispose of it and get rid of it, which we have here in Deuteronomy. We also have the conservation of mass and energy. This is going all the way back to Nehemiah. This is actually what we see in Genesis. We see the laws of thermodynamics being placed. So just because it wasn't laid out, we can go in.
Hey, I guess I'm gonna talk. Hopefully I don't get interrupted.
Hold on.
Yeah,
hold
my
on.
TikTok is glitching, so I couldn't even like move people into place.
Hold
But
on.
anyway, yeah,
I just
you
wanted.
can go, Aaliyah.
I just wanted to say, we keep trying to jump immediately back to the topic of discussion, but what we really need to address is why there's people that can't get along, why us moderators and the host has to sit and micromanage this conversation while I'm hearing grown men crying and why I'm seeing so much immaturity. I'm just saying, this is getting really ridiculous. I don't feel like we've gotten very far in the discussion because every few seconds there's someone interrupting. Every few seconds there's someone complaining. And another thing, if your problem is with one specific person, stop bringing up everybody else and Christians in general, because that doesn't make sense. Your issue is with one singular person, but the next person who complains about somebody on the panel at this point can get dropped so we can actually have a productive conversation.
Wait, hold
I'm
on.
just saying. No,
She's ready
this
to
is
drop y'all
this is
at
not
when?
a damn discussion. I'm not having a discussion about nothing I'm saying. At this point, it's gonna be a dictatorship. Please.
Bell, can I just explain something to the host, right? Like, you guys set these parameters. Everybody agreed. I have been adhering to them perfectly. I haven't thrown an insult or done anything to like any of the Christians on this panel. The first disrespect that happened after you set these rules was when I was talking, he has risen, decided to jump in the middle of my sentence. And I didn't ask a question. I said, I'm gonna need those verses, then proceeded on to another point, and he jumped in. I have not disrespected anybody. I agreed to the terms. He's the issue, right? He's the issue. And it's ironic that he's asking us to act like grown individuals. He can't control his mouth. He's not a grown up. He can't control his impulses.
I feel like we need to be fair. Like in general, I've been hosting, and you host lives too, Coco.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just talk over each other. I don't think he was doing it like intentionally. Like, Coco's speaking. I'm about to interrupt his. You really feel like he intentionally he interrupted you saying like F Coco?
Yeah, he heard me speaking. He opened up his mouth and started in the middle of my sentence. And I told him stop as he was doing it, and he just continued. That is intentional. If somebody is like if somebody's punching me in the face and I say stop punching me in the face, they hear me telling them to stop punching me in the face, and they continue to punch me in the face. At some point, you've got to assume this is intentional. Right, and like I don't care. Like I'm on debate TikTok.
On the Coco show.
In real time, folks. Like, what else is there to say?
Because this is boring.
In real time, folks.
This is annoying and boring to the audience.
Like in real time, right now, as we're speaking, he's doing it again. He doesn't care. He doesn't respect me.
We do not have a discussion. This is how nothing actually gets done. I'm so tired. Please, y'all. Please, y'all have some damn decorum and maturity.
I think she dropped you, Coco, because you unnecessarily brought up his wife. Dag, like y'all gotta chill.
Like for real.
Y'all gotta chill.
Like for real. There's no reason I should be hearing myself repeating myself. Y'all are not children. You're not children.
Because you brought up his wife. Like, yeah, you gotta chill. If he goes off on you because you brought up his wife, he would be like well within his rights to do that. Bro, my TikTok is like crashing out.
Wait, hold on. You told people not to interrupt people, right? He should have been dropped. He's interrupted people multiple times. I should not be dropped. He should. He's destroying the conversation.
He interrupted the host and the moderator.
He interrupted.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done with it.
Wait. Stop, girl. Stop. I feel like, Coco, because of whatever contention y'all had prior to me even knowing you guys, like, it's not allowing you to listen to reason. Like, people interrupt people on this panel all the time. I'm lenient about it. I'm not just going to drop you just because you're interrupting. I mean, unless you're really annoying and you're interrupting me. But, like, you're bringing up this man's wife. Like, how do you talk to your wife? Like, come on. I want you to be realistic. You're not as bad as Forrest, but you know that was disrespectful. You got to chill. Like, you got to chill.
Okay, yeah, I can chill with the personal insults, but
Yeah,
you
so
guys said it.
apologize.
You guys are is. Did you guys not just see what happened? Like
Apologize.
right now, he's interrupting me again as I'm
Yo,
speaking.
see, this
This is
is
a
the
conversation.
Oh my
y'all
god.
getting on
Yeah,
my
all
damn.
of
Speaking.
I don't
He's
even have to
interrupting.
wait,
shit to myself.
the
We
mods,
just
you guys are able to put them on Showtime and then adjust the Showtime. I don't know why, like my TikTok is glitching right now.
Like, like.
wait. I just wanted to
What
say,
you guys,
Coco.
wait,
I
hold
just
on.
think
How
that
are you
you
guys
got.
not seeing this? I'm speaking and like he's
I
interrupting
think
me
you
and
should
he
just
doesn't get
stop.
dropped.
You should
He's done it
just like
multiple
dead the
times.
conversation. You should just unalive the conversation
Yeah, I don't know
because
what y'all got going
it's
on.
going. Yeah,
You
let's
guys
just
said
stay
a
the topic.
you guys said a rule. He violated it multiple times. He didn't get dropped. I insult his wife and I get dropped. That's
Yeah,
It's
literally.
because
not
why are you
about
bringing
that.
up his wife?
And that's the thing. And
What
it's
about me being
like
interrupted?
you
I
said,
didn't.
Belle.
First
It
of all,
doesn't matter about. Sorry, go ahead, Belle.
yeah,
So
you're good.
weird.
First of all, I was like off trying to get my Wi-Fi situated, so I was teacupped, and she dropped you, and I already knew what's up. Because all as I'm like trying to fix my Wi-Fi, I hear you bringing up this man's wife. I'm like, I'm rolling my eyes like Coco, what's going on? And then if he starts going off on you, you're gonna be like, oh look, da, 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 look at the Christian characteristics. Like, you
Okay,
gotta be for
how about
real.
this? How about this? Two
It's
men.
not nice if he's intentionally interrupting you, and if I see it happening, I'll either mute him or I'll address it. But you don't have to bring up like his relationship with his wife, because whatever he got going on with his wife is definitely not what he has going on with you.
How about this? I will happily move on with the conversation, and I will like apologize about the wife insult that was out of pocket if he can apologize for literally jumping in the middle of my sentence after we specified that we're not going to do that. Your
Wait,
mom
do you
said
feel like
not to
it's
do
that
that.
big of a deal? I'm
Yes, yeah, it is that
sorry.
big of a
I
deal. Because
apologize
dude,
that
wait,
he jumped. He got
wait,
in.
he needs to apologize to me, and I'll apologize to him about his wife. Do you notice that me and Justin W, we hate each other, but
Okay,
Justin
Coco,
W
if you
has
have
been
to stop
so
talking.
respectful in this conversation.
Like if you just keep talking for like
Are
5
you
minutes
serious
on
right now?
end,
He's doing it
then nobody
again.
can
He's
ever
doing it
speak.
again. Like it's happening right
Listen,
now.
hold on.
Bro,
Because I want to
Hey,
say, to
guys.
be fair, when the first time
Oh
when you
my
decided to
god.
address Risen, when he cut you off the first time, you went into using negative characteristics that he is. He's
But this is the
prideful,
first
then
time.
middle,
He interrupted
and
me
then
before that.
no, I'm talking about the first time. The second time, and then I'm sorry for not like situating it because I was tending to my kids, so I didn't even see it. And then to be fair, when he did interrupt you, at least he was on topic. He was addressing the scriptures. Granted, it was not the time for him to tell you the scriptures because it was much more of a rhetorical thing on your part. And we all know how debates on TikTok get down. We could be talking, and some people, depending on who platform it is, somebody will definitely cut in on what you're saying, as it happened to me when I was on your live. When this Marie lady decided to be very disrespectful to me when I was not even debating and I was trying to have a regular conversation, I messaged you about it and you never responded and you allowed it to happen. Did I feel personal? No, because I'm
Yes.
like, you know what? This is
I'm
Coco
just
thing.
joking.
He's just trying to debate. It's all good. And I just feel like that's the mentality you need to have. Don't take things so personal. Risen, he's doing a little banter because if you even hear his tone, he's not even taking it serious. But for whatever reason, you internalize things so much, which is what caused you to
Yeah.
get into these situations. And you,
Yeah.
even though you're very intelligent and you could defend atheism very well, but because you
Mhm.
you internalize these personal attacks, we can't move
Mhm.
forward, and it's not
Yeah.
needed.
Wait, hold on. So like, first and foremost, yeah, like, if somebody disrespected you and you DM'd me about it and I didn't respond, then yeah, like I can take responsibility for that. That's wrong on my part. I
Let me look. Yeah, it dropped y'all again. Well, honestly, I feel like it's a sign because my TikTok's acting up anyway. I want to thank everybody for coming. You guys are amazing. It's a lot of drama. I'm gonna need y'all to let that go. Okay. All right. I hope everybody has a blessed day. And if you're an atheist, I'm not saying that like offensively because I know how y'all feel about people praying for y'all unprovoked. No, Coco, you gotta let it go, Coco. Oh, and for everybody that didn't happen to see, like for some reason, every time I go off the app, it like just drops everyone. So that wasn't on purpose, but I feel like it was God. It was God's timing.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys, everyone put W Trey, W Adam, W Jacob, and W Zay. Ready, guys? Everyone that wants to be in my story, put W Zay, W Trey, W Adam, and W Jacob in 3, 2, 1. Go! That's the GOAT! Trey, my biggest saver. Adam, one of my freaking savers. I love you. Jacob, Zay, these are my GOATs. We won. We won! W Trey, that's the GOAT right there. That's the GOAT! The GOAT! I just want to up that as a story. I want to up that as a story. No freaking resets, guys. We're staying up here. Dude, Trey, thank you for everything, Brody. Oh my gosh, Zion with the heart me. Guys, we are 3 follows away from 600. Who is going to be my 600 follower? Dude, you guys really blessed the stream, man.
What's up? Hey, folks. I'm doing a wide panel today. Yeah, feel free to join up if you want to. Anyone can talk about the topic above. Yeah, we can have a conversation about the topic above. It is what it is, bro. Yep. What up? Hey guys. I'm just playing Fortnite and debating. Yep, we're looking for any ops. But thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm just waiting for ops. I'm just chilling. I'm just playing Fortnite. I don't know if you guys were watching the previous live I was in, but yeah, that's that. I figured I'd just start it live. I'm gonna be here for a while. But yeah. What's up? What's up? What's up? Oh, greatest of all time. I mean, I guess like I'm trying to be the greatest of all time on TikTok. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Yo, what up, Bobby? What's up? What's up, Paul Vibes? But yeah, I'm just waiting for ops or waiting for like anyone who wants to come up. I'm just chilling. I'm playing Fortnite. I'm streaming that to YouTube and Twitch. But yeah. Jesus Christ, bro. But yeah, that's really all I'm doing today. It be what it be. It be what it be. It be what it be. But yeah, you know, come up, ask me any questions in the comments if you have any. Feel free to come up. Yeah, I'll be here. Chilling out. I'm gonna grab my iPad. Christian God, that's a domination, bro. No, that's a huge category. There's like a whole bunch of different types of Christians. There's Roman Catholics, there's Eastern Orthodox, there is all of the Protestant denominations of Christianity. Christian only entails that you believe in Jesus, you believe that he died and rose again for your sins, and you follow the teachings of Jesus Christ. That's what would be entailed as a Christian. There's a whole bunch of them. And yeah, like, I don't know, Christians can't get their shit together and like figure out like what the truth is about God. So they're confused, I guess, doing that. I don't really know what to tell you. Alright. My iPad's dead. But yeah, feel free to give me any other questions. I'm here playing video games. I'm agnostic. So I'm open-minded to God existing.
Can I say something real quick to the prompt? Answer it.
Sure, you can go ahead.
So when I was 19, I'm about 26 now, bro. I had an encounter with the Holy Spirit, and I've never experienced something like that in my life. I've always heard about like Jesus and everything, but I was like, okay, so where's all the stuff happening? I believe in him, but like, where's all the magic, quote unquote magic? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, so after that day, he treated me with like this kindness, and he was literally alive in my heart. And I remember I just wanted to be kind and love strangers. I just remember I just wanted to love people and give my life for them. And that's the new life Christ was talking about. He's not saying your life's going to be perfect once you give your life to him. He's saying like, when you follow me, I renew you. I renew your mind, and then you'll have new desires. You'll become a new creation with new desires. So instead of doing what you want to do, you'll live a life of love and always trying to serve people, because that's something you want to do and desire to do, not because you feel like you're obligated to do. But to the prompt real quick, it always stuck to me and nobody could ever convince me. Why would 12 men be tortured and killed for something they were lying about? Were they on drugs?
Okay, this is going
I
a little bit
highly
into
doubt
the
it.
domain of preaching than answering the
It's very
question.
unlikely that they were doing
I think we should
psychedelics.
keep the, it's a personal anecdote,
Why are
and
you interrupting
I
me?
respect that.
Why are you
But like,
interrupting
this
me?
is like, it's like, this
Why
is
are you
like
interrupting me?
evangelizing and preaching.
Why are you interrupting me?
Yeah,
Was
we
I
heard the
finished?
answer. We heard the answer. You had a personal encounter
Have a good day.
with something, and
PhD, he was in the middle of speaking, dude.
oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying that like this is a personal encounter, and like a personal story and a narrative, and it's not.
Any other person want to come on the panel and respect people's boundaries and not interrupt them? I'd be happy to speak with you. Like, he was in the middle of talking. You don't just like jump in the middle of his sentence and interrupt him. Like, I allowed him to speak for a reason. I didn't interrupt him for a reason. I was trying to like hear out what he had to say. Like, I'm so kind of like, I'm tired of like I know who you are, PhD, and like I'm so tired of like you always talking about like white people and interrupting people and just doing whatever the fuck you want. Like, it gets annoying, and we've been warning you about this, and you just kind of like do it, and then like the guest leaves the panel, and then you're like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, you're not sorry. You keep doing it and getting away with it, and then once the guest leaves, you apologize, but then you just do the same thing over again. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, follow instructions. Like, be a decent human being. Like, I don't understand, like, why you're doing that and you're getting away with it and you're saying sorry, but you're not changing your behavior. Are you actually sorry? Like, it's, like, I don't want to be, like, mean or, like, roast you, but that's fucking stupid. You know? Say you're sorry, change your behavior. I don't have to, like, why do we have to keep telling you not to be, like, not to interrupt people or not to fucking, like, talk about people's race? Like, I don't understand you. Just be decent human beings to each other. Like, I don't understand. Like, what's so hard to comprehend about, like, being nice to individuals? Like, being decent human beings to people. I don't understand why that's, like, a hard... Like, hey, be nice to people. I want people to listen to everything I have to say and not interrupt me, so I'm not gonna do the same thing to, like, other people, right? And, like, you know, for some reason, people, like... It's ironic that, like, people who are Christian or people who are atheists, like, they can't follow the rule of, like, treat people how you want to be treated. Especially, like, certain Christians. Like, this is so weird. There's some kind of, like, mental block with certain Christians. Like, this isn't kindergarten. You're, like, a whole-ass adult. I don't know why people just can't, like, for some reason, right? People can't understand. Treat people how you want to be treated. People like He is risen. People like wit. People like treat people how you want to be treated. Like, I don't get it. Like it's like hard for them to comprehend. It's hard for them to, like, understand. you know. But yeah. Oh no, this is not AI. I'm just very quiet. I'm waiting for ops or people to join in. But yeah, I'm just chilling and playing video games. I don't really have much today. Nice. But yeah. I'm not gonna talk about it. The previous live was, it was what it was. I don't know, they don't give a fuck. I don't know. I don't really know what to say about that one, Chief. But hey, what you got for me, what you got for me, facts?
Exactly that. So I believe you should follow or trust in the Judaic God, though, not the Christian God.
So you believe in Judaism?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel like you should trust in that because there's a lot of reasons why you can trust it.
What would those reasons be?
So prophecy. So prophecy confirms if God exists or doesn't. Like if there is a word and then it comes to pass, and this word is out of human control of the events that take place, then we could trust that it came from not a man, but from God himself.
Yeah, such as?
There was a prophecy about how Nebuchadnezzar was going to destroy Babylon, and then it uses the word, it will never be rebuilt. We currently look at Babylon today, and this was in 700 to 500 BC, but today the current population is still 0. And there was 2 attempts that I know of where they try to rebuild it. One with Alexander the Great, the second one in 1990 with Saddam Hussein when he stamped on some bricks. They're going to rebuild Babylon. So he did rebuild some buildings. Nobody lived in it. He passed away 8 years later. And that's only one. Like, there's also the one with Nineveh, the one with Tyre. So in Judaism, we can actually falsify information.
What was the first prophecy that you said?
Babylon, how Babylon's going to be destroyed, and he used the word never to be rebuilt.
Yeah, but you said they built some buildings, but nobody's in it.
So when we say never rebuilt, like the city's never going to be rebuilt. Like, it was destroyed, the population was 0.
Yeah, but they built like some buildings, right? There were some buildings that were rebuilt.
He built some buildings, but nobody lived in them.
So like whenever it says never rebuilt, does that mean entirely or like partially?
Like the city, like the population in the city, because it went down to 0. It was once a great city, and then it got destroyed and population 0.
And then you're saying like the population never recovered from that?
Correct. And it's currently still 0.
In Babylon?
Yeah. If you look over there in Iraq, it's next to a place called Hila. It's not the whole old Mesopotamia area, and it's not only with Babylon, it's with Tyre and Nineveh. So it's falsifiable. I say trust on information that's falsifiable.
Okay. I mean, so basically it said like it's never going to be rebuilt, and then like we should trust it because it was right about like saying something was going to happen in the future and it didn't happen.
But yeah, we could look at the word. It says never to be rebuilt and see if it's falsifiable or not.
Well, I mean,
not.
They ended up rebuilding like some buildings, and like yeah, the population never recovered.
Yeah.
But
So man can't get that right?
I mean, yeah, like someone could have guessed something and got it right. Does that mean they're automatically like a prophet?
Not in all cases, but right here, this is a hard prediction.
So why should we trust in this case?
Because it's not only with Babylon, it's also with Nineveh and Tyre as well too. So one man can't get all these right.
I mean, like The Simpsons gets like a lot of stuff right.
Okay, but I'm telling you why you should trust in this God, brother. These are bigger events than Simpsons.
Yeah, The Simpsons predicted like tons of events before they happened. Should we trust that The Simpsons are like some kind of like God or like?
What events did Simpsons get correct?
So like they got correct that Trump would be coming down the elevator. He did that.
He comes down the elevator. Everybody goes down the elevator. That's not hard to predict.
Like it could be the kid. Like I mean, like do you know how many places on this earth have 0 population there?
Bro, you came down the elevator before too, right?
I mean, yeah, but like there have been many places that don't have like a population.
No, but this is not just Babel. Remember, he uses the word never to be rebuilt. A man can't predict that.
Yeah, but didn't they rebuild some of the buildings?
But it's not talking about the buildings, brother. It's talking about the city itself.
What do you mean by city? Is that people are buildings?
It was once a great city, and the prophecy was talking about how it's going to be destroyed, the great city, and never be rebuilt.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, someone could predict that. They could see a city being destroyed and say this might never come back.
No, but he didn't say might. He says never to be rebuilt.
Well, okay, so he got it right. The Simpsons also get stuff right. Like, why should we trust that it's...
What did Simpsons get right?
People going down an elevator, like so many different events. Like,
bro, that's not a prophecy because everybody goes down the elevator. That's not a prophecy.
Like, there's a ton of places that don't have a population. That's a common thing.
No, but he says never to be rebuilt, brother.
Population. So, like,
okay, we're going in circles, but, you know,
but, like,
I still...
It's literally the same thing. You're saying, like, The Simpsons is not, like, a prophecy.
Because everybody goes down an elevator.
Down an elevator.
That's
well,
not
like,
the
you're
only
saying,
thing.
like,
I mean,
I got that.
cities getting destroyed. Tons of cities get destroyed.
Look, I'm not trying to create a wall, so I don't want to go back and forth with this, but I'll let the next person talk, bro. Because I don't think we're going to see eye to eye.
Well, which prophet are you citing? Because some of the prophecies are written in hindsight. They're not written before the events actually happen.
You talking to me or him?
I mean, you presented the prophecy.
Oh, I brought to the host the prophecy on Babylon.
Which prophecy of Babylon? Daniel, Isaiah?
The one where it says it's going to be destroyed, and it uses the words never to be rebuilt.
Yeah, so I mean, there are things that are written ex eventu. So Daniel is written after the destruction of those empires. It was written during the Seleucid Empire. You also have, in Isaiah, you can say never to be rebuilt, which is typically curse language. So it's not supposed to be rebuilt.
But it's not rebuilt though, brother. It's still 0.
Yeah.
So is it the population that you're saying is the reason why it's not rebuilt? Because people aren't just like free to set up cities whenever they choose to.
What do you mean?
Like the exclusive right to the state. So the city wasn't repopulated. That's the only thing that was changed. People aren't just free to set up cities when they choose to. The majority of urban enterprises within a pre-existing state are the exclusive right of the actual state. During that time,
and
there's two attempts that I can name where they try to rebuild it, but that's fine if you want to say like that.
What would rebuilding look like to you? Is it just repopulating that city, or
so it was once
now it's just an archaeological site? That's the same thing as like expecting people to move back into Pompeii.
It was once a great city, and the prophecy says it'll be destroyed and it'll never be rebuilt. So this great city was going to go to. Hold on, let me finish real quick. So this population this city was going to become 0 and never to be rebuilt. And there was 2 attempts that I know of where they try to rebuild it. Alexander the Great and Saddam Hussein, and they both failed.
Yeah, that doesn't negate that people just can't populate an archaeological site. Like,
Got you. I
it
got you.
doesn't negate that.
I got you.
It's just that that's just not how cities work. If you're saying it's because if it has to do with the prophecy, there's a lot of things that are prophesied in the Bible that haven't come to fruition or were just straight up wrong.
Like what?
And anybody can.
Like what?
What's not? Give me one
talking
second.
about
I'll get you the verse and everything. Hold on.
Yeah, give me one that hasn't come true.
The prophet you're talking about is Ezekiel, and it's talking about Tyre. It's not talking about Babylon, because the Babylonians destroyed Tyre. And so did
Tyre as
Alexander.
well too. That's another prophecy. Tyre as well too. But I was talking about Babylon.
You said never to be rebuilt. That comes from Ezekiel. That's regarding Tyre.
Tyre too.
Yeah.
I said Tyre
That's
too.
specifically.
But
That's
Babylon as
specific one.
well.
That's Ezekiel 26. But for example, Matthew, Mark,
So
and
I told the whole stat earlier. I said it was Tyre, Nineveh, and Babylon. So yeah, it's Tyre is one of them too. Yes.
Okay. For example, the prediction of Israel's immediate return in Jeremiah, Israelites were going to return from exile in 70 years, but that wasn't the fulfillment. There was Israelites were in exile, and the diaspora continued for centuries after. So there was no, that time frame wasn't upheld.
What chapter are you looking
all
at?
of the prophecies, that's Jeremiah 29,
Let me
10
write
to
that.
14.
Write that down. Jeremiah 20.
Yeah, so Tyre was rebuilt, and because there's a lot of apologetics going on online about how it was rebuilt, but that's not what the prophecy is talking about.
It wasn't, and I can tell you why. So there's a mainland Tyre right now, but it was not connected to the coastland before. So if you look at the coastland of it, or the mainland of it, you can see all the destructive buildings, and it's currently protected by UNESCO, which is that archaeological protection site of those kind of places. But that pathway was created later on, like at the time of Alexander the Great as well too. But that pathway wasn't always there. So it was destroyed, and you can look at the part that is protected by UNESCO.
Well, it was destroyed twice, which means it would have to be rebuilt.
No,
Because it was destroyed by Babylon, and Alexander the Great also destroyed Tyre.
It's not. It's the population
They
still.
didn't
Zero.
rebuild. He didn't try to rebuild Tyre. He destroyed Tyre.
The population is still zero. But Lexi, I'll look at the verse that you're looking at as well too, because I can't rebuttal that yet until I look more into that.
I mean, I have more. I have like over 10 prophecies that never came true in the Bible. The things about King Cyrus. Are you aware of King Cyrus?
Okay, what happened with that one?
This is in Isaiah 44. Isaiah
predicted
specifically mentions Cyrus by name, predicting that he would allow the Jews to return and rebuild the temple.
Oh, actually, you know what? That one came true. I can answer that one.
Yeah, because they went back. You know what retroactive writing is?
Yeah, you believe they went back and kind of rewrote it?
Yeah. So I think that's kind of showing that even if there was like
That's I can. Hey, Lexi, the good thing about that one, I can address that one. Like I understand that one.
Yeah, like I said, that's retroactive writing.
No, that's a claim that has not been proven.
Well, when we know when certain texts are written within scholarship, then it sort of makes sense. So like Daniel is one of those really good examples. Everybody says Daniel predicts the Roman Empire or something, and he doesn't. The kingdoms that are listed are the Medes, the Persians, the Babylonians, the Greeks.
Have you ever heard of the Mede-Persian alliance?
I've heard the apologetic you're about to use, yes, but
the Mede-Persian alliance. This is a real the whole. So they were allies.
It doesn't matter what the historical record is; it's what Daniel says it is.
Yeah, so they were allies that worked
He
together.
describes them as separate entities.
No, but they were allies that worked together and caused that prophecy to come true. Like it came true.
Yeah, that's the claim.
Right? No, you can look at it. You can look in history.
No, you can look at history. Daniel is not historical. Daniel lists them as separate.
Brother, they had an alliance.
You can't
They worked together
Daniel to make your prophecy work. That's not how this works.
They worked together, but that's fine. You can say whatever you want to say.
Yeah. There's the prophecy that Jesus' followers, contemporaries, his peers would see the kingdom of God before they died, but obviously that didn't come true. They all died before the second coming.
Wait, second coming of what?
Nobody from life. Yeah,
Wait.
So Jesus had said that his
Oh, I
contemporaries.
don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe Jesus like that. I don't believe Jesus like that. So, yeah. So you don't have to worry about that one.
Okay, well, can I finish what I'm saying before you cut me off?
Well, I'm not. I don't want you to bring it up. I'm not a Christian.
Okay. So I'm showing off these prophecies and how these prophecies don't
we don't believe that.
necessarily have anything to do with actually. It's not proof that they've even happened. If Jesus told his contemporaries that they would see the kingdom of God before they died, and that was a prophecy there, let's say that's in
But why are you bringing up Jesus though?
She's just talking about
Matthew to fruition
But I don't believe
in
it's
the
prophecy
Bible.
though. So who are you talking to? Who's your audience?
You don't
You're
believe that
talking
it's a
to?
prophecy?
No, I don't believe in Jesus or those.
How
the
is
New
that not a
Testament.
prophecy?
Because I don't believe in the New Testament.
He believes in Judaism.
You don't believe in the New Testament?
Correct.
He's a
Judaism. Okay.
Yeah. Because I can find a lot of things wrong with Christianity too myself if I want to go that route.
Yeah, Christianity is pretty bad.
It is bad. Like wait, the part you brought up, Lexi, I don't think they think about that one.
I mean, yeah, like, I mean, it's just an example that I mean, I also do think that the Old Testament prophecies also didn't come true. The whole thing about Jonah's Nineveh prediction that Nineveh would be destroyed in 40 days didn't happen. The
But it
Israel
was though.
complete return from
We could talk about it. It was destroyed, and the population is still currently 0.
for Nineveh.
Correct.
So this wasn't in 40 days. He said it would be destroyed in 40 days. That didn't
Okay,
happen.
how many days did it take?
The destruction never happened.
The population is 0, so it had to happen.
So the outcome of what happened in Nineveh had nothing to do with that.
Okay, how many days did it take?
It was in response to. It was in a response to something, right? Him saying that Nineveh was going to be destroyed in 40 days didn't happen. It didn't happen in the 40 days that he said.
Okay, how many days did it take?
More than that.
Can you give me your source or whatever you're looking at?
Sure, I'm looking at Jonah 3:4.
But how many days does that say on that one?
Yeah, so Nineveh was the final capital of the Neo-Assyrian Empire. This was around 700, and then it wasn't it wasn't destroyed until 612 BCE.
Okay.
That's far longer than 40 years.
You said what between what BC? What was the date you gave?
Sorry, which one are you asking?
You said it was destroyed. You said it was destroyed.
So it was served as the final capital around 700 BCE until its destruction in 612.
612.
So how many years is that?
All right, 612 BC. Let me write that down because I want to.
That's 88.
I want to
That's double. That's double.
Okay, so you say 88 years it was destroyed.
Yep.
Okay, I gotta look at that. Let me see. So you said 612. All right, so I put that in my notes too because I can't address that till I look at that.
Yeah, I haven't studied much about Judaism, but I mean, historically, I've always thought Judaism to probably be like more closer of a religion to God. Christians seem to have just like stolen Judaism and then like made the ending of the story saying this is the prophecy. Jesus fulfilled everything. Like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, because Christianity, originally the earliest Christians were Jews, and then as Gentiles became more of the population, there starts to be a differing interpretation within the New Testament and how to understand Jewish texts. And it really couldn't have happened if it wasn't in the 1st century CE, where Jewish people already had an openness to Gentiles to a particular degree, along with their kind of messianic expectations and things like that. But yeah, now Christianity is trying to, especially in modern day, 2,000 years later, is trying to make claims utilizing Jewish texts largely improperly. So I got to own that on behalf of my people. Yeah. Also, that live you were on earlier, bro, that was nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to say about like, as you can tell, like I don't know, I just don't have the energy, like.
Yeah.
I missed the other Jew. I say she says loosely.
Yeah, fact just dropped. I don't know where he went.
Oh darn.
He might have the app for too long if he was researching, and it'll kick you off.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, he.
Well, that's the reason why I said. There's a reason why I said she says loosely.
Oh yeah, like he said there were things wrong with Christianity, and he believed in Judaism. Yeah.
Well, Jews don't call God Yah.
Like Yah is in Yahweh, or.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
We would never say that.
Oh, and Phoenix. So the prophecy that we were talking about is from Daniel, and so there's a Daniel prophecy of a statue that represents, I think, 4 kingdoms. Is it right?
The statue made of like the different materials.
Yeah, the different materials, and so what happens is a standard interpretation of it within scholarship is you had the Babylonians, Persians, the Medes, the Greeks, and the Seleucids being the empires that are kind of represented there, because Daniel is written kind of during the Seleucid time period, which is after Alexander the Great's empire breaks apart. But what apologists want to do, because they want to claim that Daniel is predicting the Roman Empire or something else, is they'll combine the prediction is really sticky business. It's not really, I think, a helpful way of understanding biblical prophecy.
Okay.
Oh, could I ask?
Oh, yep. Sorry.
No, go ahead. It was something else. It was a side. I had a question for Rabbi. Rabbi
So something came up, so I might have to go right now, but I'll be on later. I'm sorry about this, but like family thing I have to deal with.
Do your
No
thing.
worries. Yeah.
Hope everything